All right, hello, welcome to this video. We're going to talk a little bit about a new program called Transit to Trails. And as you know, I did a video a very long time ago, so I'll have to work on putting a card in here, about how getting to the Pine Barrens, you can get to the Pine Barrens, and fairly easy compared to, say, New Jersey, all right? So this is a story here, and of course, where else they have to be but in Babylon. So we're going to play a little bit of this story.
If you said yes, it's now easier for you to enjoy some of Suffolk County's best attractions. It's a new program called Transit to Trails. News 12 Long Island's Nicolette Schleisman is live in Babylon Village to explain how the new program called Transit to Trails works. Good evening, Nicolette.
Well, the goal is to show just how easy it is to get from public transportation, like here at Babylon Station, to parks or trails.
Oh, and by the way, Babylon train station is getting a renovation.
At Argyle Park in Babylon Village. Summer is
Argyle
right
Park,
around the
a place
corner,
I go to
and
all
with
the
the weather
time.
already nice, Suffolk County wants visitors and residents to know just how close they are to parks and trails when riding the LIRR.
This will serve as a guide for anyone who wants to come here, whether they live here or wants to come as a tourist
But
here.
why does it have to be Babylon?
Experience
Why can't you just
Suffolk
do this in the middle of the island?
All we have to offer in a
it's all about these
car-free
people.
way.
They've launched the Transit to Trails program by putting together maps of trails and parks that are accessible by bikes or walking from public transit. The maps are available on the Connect Long Island website, and you can select a train station to see nearby trails and amenities like museums, beaches, and boat rentals. Some we spoke with, like Migdalia and Paul Schneider, were intrigued at the idea.
It makes it a lot easier.
It is a good idea,
to
but it should be for the whole island.
They say they
We're gonna look
already
at it
drive
in a
around
moment.
the county to explore new walking trails.
To walk the same path, and it gets a little monotonous after a while, so this is just one area which we love.
Suffolk County says this initiative is the result of a year-long effort to map all of the sidewalks, trails, and bike facilities around, and they hope it will get visitors to stay a little bit longer and enjoy downtown areas in Suffolk County before heading home.
We want to make it so easy for people to be able to come out, use a train, hop on these trails, shop in the downtowns, enjoy it, and do it all in a car-free way. That is possible. We have the assets to do it. We need to let people know about it.
And so far, 7 train stations have been mapped out so far, and the county is
So they're just
working
on train
several
stations.
more. In Babylon
They
Village,
should focus on the buses, too. All right, so they've mapped out 7 train stations, and we're going to look at it right now here. So this is the Trains and Trails, Transit to Trails map, and of course, most of it's geared to the South Shore, but you do have 3 stations here geared to the South Shore, obviously. Babylon, which we spoke about before. You have, looks like Great River and Sayville, all right? And only one for the middle of the island here, and that's it. So let's go in here and see what they have, all right? And we'll talk about what they've left out, all right? And get to that in a moment. But let's first talk about Deer Park. It looks like they're actually showing... No, they're not even... Let's see what they have here. All right, they have a purple map here. Distillery... What the heck are these lines? Okay. So, it looks like they do have a line here going to Edgewood Preserve. So very good. I'm glad that they put one up for Edgewood Preserve, and I'm very glad they did that. That's good. I'm glad they mapped that out. And then they have another one from the Wyandanch train station that'll take you to Belmont Lake State Park. I don't know why they have you walking this way. You could walk this. Well, I guess you can't get through on that end. So they have another one going from the train station above. They should also be talking about how you can access from Suffolk County Transit as well, in this as well. So, and then they have Smithtown as well. Show you here some of the, you can get to Blydenburg over here, but still a lot of stuff left out of here. A lot of stuff left out, and of course, the focus on the South Shore, of course. This here is the Great River train station, and there's a path that could take you down to Heckscher. You could also go to Bayard Cutting Operatum. You could also go to Connecticut River State Park from a Great River train station. And from Sayville, you can go to Sanssouci Park, which is over here, as well as There's another park over here. I figure the name escapes me. I think it's called LaGrange Park. And then you have another area over here, too, another park as well. Obviously, it's easier to access from the South Shore versus the middle of the island, like everything is. You have all the downtowns, and the South Shore line is so much more convenient for that versus the middle of the island. But they did leave some things out. All right? They could have, they even have Yaphank on the map. They don't even have that. So they still are leaving out the Pine Barrens to some extent here. But again, it does seem to be focused on the South Shore. But I'll give them a chance. They're adding more to this thing, and of course Babylon, which is again lots around Babylon here. You have the path that goes. This path from Suddens goes all the way up to actually it goes. You can take a path all the way from Argyle Lake, Southards, all the way to Belmont Lake. You got to love the South Shore for that. I mean, all the beautiful long distance trails are there. For that, and you do have some pine barrens in there as well, of course. But of course, the piniest areas, at least further west, tend to be in the middle of the island, and that's why Edgewood would be very piney. But at least they did talk about it. I'm glad they do have Edgewood up here, and you can see that's the trail entrance right there for Edgewood. If you let's see, hike and bike, so it says zoom to hike and bike. So this is Edgewood Preserve right here. So there you go. They do have Edgewood Preserve listed here. I'm very glad to see that. At least they didn't leave Edgewood out. Yeah, so it's called Transit to Trails, and of course they have to be in Babylon. So, I mean, of course, because it's all about the South Shore. We all know that. So it's on the Connect Long Island website. And, of course, this is part of the bus redesign, I believe, progress as well. So I think part of this is, I don't know if this even updated this website, or you have to even have I don't know what website map. I don't know if the map, maybe this shows the redesign. I don't know, but that's a whole nother video. Now we're going off into another thing entirely. So I'm glad that they did talk about this, and let's go to the. There's another article on it that was in, and of course it's funny they've copied it though, because they weren't the original people that this. New Jersey was. Oh, something happened on NJ Transit. So this is the New Jersey Transit to Trails app. So I guess this is what New Jersey has, because we got to look here. But the issue with New Jersey, again, Tom's River particularly, most of the parks are not really that close to the bus stops. Especially west of the Parkway, you have to walk all the way from Route 9. So that's a couple miles at least to get there, right? It doesn't even show anything on here. It has one. It has Winding River. That's the only one it has that's accessible. But you see, there isn't as much accessible compared to Long Island, which is what I brought up in that other video that I made a while ago. Which is why reason number, I don't know how much that I don't want to wind up having to go live in New Jersey. All right, reason number 1033 that I don't want to have to live in New Jersey. All right, so let's go read this other article here. This is so top stories. The transit to trails, and let's see. There's an article from the Long Island Press as well about this transit to trails. Of course, they're in Babylon. Suffolk County launches transit to trails map initiative. I'm gonna close that up here. So it's National Bike Month and National Train Day on May 13th. According to the county, there are 160,000 acres of Suffolk parkland within walking or biking distance of public transit, which officials aim to make residents and visitors more aware of. So this is some of the maps they have up here. And, of course, this is the Babylon one. They have the Bethpage one, too, is Bethpage Ride. I don't know why they call that Bethpage Ride. Of course, Babylon Village. Everything's geared to again, it seems to be geared to the South Shore, like everything is. Hey, it's something, and it's one thing that Long Island has that New Jersey just does not have at the moment, particularly Ocean County. Ocean County has a very sparse public transportation. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say here. It's good news, and I'm glad that this is being promoted. However, my criticism of it is, why does it have to be Babylon? Why couldn't you do it at Edgewood Preserve, all right? No. Of course, they have to be on the South Shore. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching.